Hi guys, Matt Rhodes here, and slightly unusual circumstances as I'm not currently in Dubai myself, but with the help of Course Sports, I've been able to ask John and Devon a couple questions, so here they are. I hope you enjoy watching this. My first question for Devon is who does he think is going to be a more difficult opponent? Michael Todd in his last match or this upcoming match against John Brzenk?
Interesting.
Yeah, so,
Waiting for the response.
yeah, so obviously John's right in front of me. I thought at the time, I thought that Michael was going to be a more difficult match. That's what I believed at the time. However, Michael is more of a technical struggle, as in if you can beat Michael's one move, then you can probably kind of decode his entire thing. If you play the wrong cards against Michael, he can really make you pay. But if you know the right cards to play and you're strong enough in that one piece, then Michael can be a easier victory. John's hand and wrist are a bigger problem than Michael's, and that's the biggest piece to conquer in arm wrestling is the hand and wrist. So John's hand and wrist are superior to Michael's. There's no question. So I think that John may very well be the number 2 in North America.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's giving me a lot of credit, but yeah, I'll come at you from different directions than Michael will, for sure.
Yeah, more fundamental arm wrestling is what I expect. So I was able to fundamentally, like when I say fundamental arm wrestle, I'm talking about like the normal, post, hook, top rope, press, is like, I would say traditional arm wrestling. And I was able to do those things against Michael because I had hand control, hand dominance. So it made him have to run to the fringes of arm wrestling, where he's so famous for having a very powerful King's move. Which one of us has to adjust in the match on Saturday? That's still be determined. It might be that I am the one running to the fringes. I may be running the King's moves, diving in. So the technical piece is a lot different between John and I than it is between Michael and I.
My second question for Devon is that I'm told his body weight is less than when he fought Michael and actually less than when he boxed against Thor. Why is that? Did he struggle to put weight on or thinks he doesn't need the extra weight this time?
Okay, so about getting massive body, so I spent my entire life, having a requirement for a cardio base. There was times in my life when I was running 30 kilometers every day. For my entire career, I was armored up, spending hours on a range or in the close quarter battle. And so my body is really used to being like 245 pounds. That's really healthy. 245, maybe as I'm a bit older, maybe 250 is like a healthy place for me to live. Once I retired, I was able to, really pack on weight and pack on strength without having to do that cardio, which is going to be more challenging, when you get stronger and bigger. So when I got to Michael, that was like my absolute peak. That's the furthest I've ever gotten in terms of weight and strength. When I kind of took a dive into the boxing world, my body was like, what are you doing to me? And it kind of took me back to a place that I was kind of more familiar with in terms of like typical energy expenditure. But it didn't stop. Like once I stopped the boxing training, my body still was like, oh, remember you have to do that. Remember you have to do that. And I did try to like get bigger and stronger, but my body actually continued to lose weight since I've gotten out of boxing. That was like almost 3 months ago now, but I haven't gained a pound. I might even be lighter now than I was when I fought Thor. So yeah. And yeah, in arm wrestling, you're better when you're bigger. Yeah, no question. Yeah.
So the first question for John was, who does he consider to be the greatest arm wrestler of all time other than himself?
That's a tough question.
What about, I mean, do you consider weight as part of it?
No.
So, like, what about some of the smaller dudes?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I would probably go. Greatest arm wrestler of all time, the most dedicated arm wrestler of all time, the guy that's thought about arm wrestling and analyzed arm wrestling more than anybody on the planet would probably have to go to Ingen Terzi. So if I was going to make a choice other than myself for greatest arm wrestler of all time, most dedicated arm wrestler of all time, I'm going to have to say Ingen Terzi from Turkey.
The second question for John was, has all of Devon's smack talk about him annoyed him, and has he found it disrespectful?
Second question was?
Oh, did it piss you off?
Oh, did it piss me off? No, I didn't get upset that Devon took the rules question out of text a little bit. I kind of analyzed how I put it out there, and I could see his point of view of me crying and saying that it's going to be all about the refs, and that's not really what I tried to say. I wanted to have the confidence to say that my victory is going to be very important on how the refs treat the setup, and that's all I wanted to kind of convey, is that refereeing is a really big, important factor in our sport, and I was hoping to shed some light on some of the tactics that Devon has done in the past, so we didn't have to go down that road again.
Man, what a terrible subject. It just sounds so sad when you talk about it. I feel bad for you.
Man, my voice is getting lower as we're getting closer to the match. What's happening to me?
So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little mini interview with some questions the guys haven't answered before. Please remember that you can watch this exclusively on coresports.world. So head over there now to get the pay-per-view. So let me know in the comments who you think's going to win. We're going to find out very soon. Head over to coresports.world and get the pay-per-view. I'll be back with another video very soon.
Number 2 in North America without question. I grew up in John's shadow. In so many ways, John's like my dad. He's all of our fathers. Just so happened that I, can probably beat the crap out of my dad.
Devon is a whole new ballgame. Amazing that we've been in the sport as long as we have been, and at the top tier of the arm wrestlers, and we really haven't crossed paths too awful much throughout the last 20 years. Maybe legitimately 3 times. So yeah, this is special.